So I want to share with you guys all the debt that I have left to pay off. Woo. Today is the day that I get my debt confession down on paper and share with you guys how much consumer debt we actually have. Y'all might not like me after this. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Rochelle and I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Guys, I have so much debt. I have so much to share with you guys today. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by the debt that you have accumulated over the years, this might be the video for you. I get a lot of commendation and girl, you are so awesome. You're paying off your house. You have so much freedom. You're gonna see today why we tackled our mortgage first before diving into our consumer debt. Now, disclaimer, the debt that we're going to go over today is a combination of debt that I have already paid off, my husband and I, and debt that we have currently just recently acquired in the last 2 to 3 years. If you've been a long time subscriber of mine, you know that we went completely consumer debt free in 2019 or 2018? It was 3 or 4 years ago. We paid everything off that we have ever gotten into debt over, and it was a beautiful feeling. But then we came to a crossroad. We were at the point where it was time to pay off our mortgage, and we decided to go ahead and pay off our mortgage, knowing that in the future, if we decided to take on a new life in Hawaii, which we did end up doing, that we would accumulate debt naturally. That we had no savings. We did not have enough money to go and buy a car cash, to go and buy a home new. So there was the inevitable that was going to happen. We were going to have debt. And so first I'm going to plug in the numbers of our debt that we have already paid off, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I'm back. This is all of the debt that we have paid off already. Guys, when I tell you I had a serious spending addiction, it's to this day something that I still battle with. And I just hope that by sharing my journey that it can help someone else. Maybe you don't realize your tendencies. Maybe you think that it's normal because everyone around you is shopping and spending, but I'm here to tell you that that is not normal. And the first thing that you should probably do is start switching to cash purchases. It helps to see the money leaving your hand. You feel it versus swiping a credit card like I have done over the years and as I continued to do. It is my hope that I will find genuine, like-minded people who can help me to stay excited about knocking out this debt, as I already have, and also learn something from this, inspire me, share tips and tricks that work for you. This is before we found Dave Ramsey, and I do have more debt, like I've been mentioning. So even when you're on the journey and you know what you're supposed to do, the reality is you still will make mistakes. And I just like to come in with the wins and the not so wins to show you that I am human. I am not perfect. I know everybody I get so many comments. Oh, you guys are so perfect. I wish. I'm like, guys, you have no idea, but you will now, because this video is dropping and you're going to see it all. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. First up, we had our 2 car loans. We had to get rid of all of our cars when we made the move to Hawaii, but we paid off the car loan number 1 by selling it back to the dealership we brought it from. They actually paid top dollar. So we did not, we were only about 2 or 3 years as far as car payments, but they paid us more than what we needed. So we were able to actually pocket some income after selling our car back. But we paid off a balance of $33,023 with that money. Then my second car, my Volkswagen, they were both Volkswagens. I love Volkswagens. Like, we had a Volkswagen CC, and then this is my Jetta. I paid this down from $14,720 to $0 and then sold it to a friend. Then I had windows. This is so triggering looking at your I had those people that knock on your door and sell you pipe dreams about how you can just, improve your home. And so they caught me. They got me for a $10,000 credit card just to buy new windows for my house. And guess what, y'all? The windows are nice that I did get, but I didn't have enough money or good enough credit to get all the windows done. So I still had to years later get all the other windows replaced, and it didn't cost $10,000. So a lot of lessons in this video. Then I took out a home equity loan because, people told me that was what you do when you have a mortgage. We did not use this money responsibly. We ended up just buying just stupid stuff with it. I can't even remember, like a gym workout center, just crazy stuff. Anyway, that came to $10,000. Then who remembers Value City Furniture? I'm gonna age myself with this video right here. But $2,550 is what we paid off. And that was for a living room set, nothing more, just a living room set that actually wasn't that good, but we were newly married and we didn't have anything, so we put it all on credit. Then Target. This is why to this day, I cannot walk in Target. Like when I tell you I run in and out of Target, I don't enjoy being in Target. This is just the most I could find on my Credit Karma. But $1,600 is what I have paid on that red card. I closed all of these out, by the way, just FYI. And then more shopping, New York and Company, $980, Victoria's Secret, $850. I was crazy. I kept applying for new Capital One credit cards over and over again. So I had two. Okay, not including the ones I have now, but two that each started out at $500, and then I kept on getting increases and they made it to $750 a pop. I paid those off and closed them. Tire Kingdom, $300, because one day I had a hole in my tire and I didn't have the money to replace it because I didn't have an emergency fund. And so I had to, you guessed it, apply for a credit card. And then Torrid. Can't forget Torrid. My homegirl used to work at Torrid. And that was the day I realized that New York and Company, Victoria's Secret, and Torrid are all under the same umbrella company. And so she said, girl, I just rang you up and your name came up as pre-approved. Like you're already in the system. And that's how deep down the rabbit hole I have gone. Anyway, if you add all of that up, it comes to a total of $75,773. I'm glad that this debt is all gone. The one thing I wish I had done is kept some of these lines of credit open, maybe not the store credit cards because I don't really shop in Target. It's really expensive here on the island, but Capital Ones, I probably could have kept open at least one of them and then converted them, but it is what it is. That is just, people say you shouldn't do that, but these were literally my college credit cards. So this is how long ago, we're talking like 2005, 2007, back in I'm talking my olden days, y'all. Your girl has been around. So I'm pushing 40. But anyway, that is the old debt. Now let's talk about the new stuff because it's way worse than this. Okay, so as I was filling out my current debt, I realized that I left off one, and that is Care Credit. Care Credit is what I use to pay for my LASIK. And so that was worth it, in my opinion. I was legally blind. It was troublesome for me to drive. I could only drive during the day. I felt extremely uncomfortable driving at night. And so I did get this more out of need than want. And of course, I did not have the money. So it came to $3,500. It might have been a little less, but that was interest free. And so I did pay that off in about 18 months. So my old debt total is actually about $79,273. Now, the new stuff. So I am including the mortgage on here just to keep me kind of motivated. That's a big accomplishment. I want to look back and see that at least I won't have to worry about a mortgage payment for the month. So $50,000, that is completely gone. It actually came to more than $50,000 because, interest and all of that jazz, but I am not splitting hairs over the mortgage. It's done. It's in the rearview mirror. Let's keep moving forward. Now let's dive into these credit cards. This is, y'all, be kind. Discover, $13,367.21. Venture, $11,026.28. Chase, $8,847.29. Micah's Apple, $4,170.14. Amazon Chase, $4,067.90. My Apple Card, $4,007.14. And then this is my business credit card, my Capital One. It's $423.48. I do zero that out every month. And same goes for Eva's credit card for her business, and my husband's Capital One that we use for the rental property. And then I kept Care Credit on here because I do want to, once we are done with these ventures, I actually need to use this. It expires. Like, you know how you have to swipe or you lose, they'll close out the account. I talked to Care Credit and they said I need to make a purchase soon or this line of credit will go away. And that actually is one of my oldest credits. So if you are in the business of paying off credit cards and caring about your credit score at the same time, try to keep cards open. That was my mistake here. I closed out these two credit cards, which were my very first credit cards I ever had as a college student. Big mistake. Big mistake. That dropped my credit, just tanked it. So instead of like 15 years of credit history, I only have about 4 to 5 now. So lessons learned. Again, if you won't care about credit and you want to be 110%, doing things the Dave Ramsey way, you won't care. But I did care about my credit because I knew we would buy things like the Tesla, which came to $55,461.75. And we were able to get the Tesla at a really good APR. And so our monthly payment actually really makes a dent in our overall amount. In fact, we've only had our car for about 6 months and we've already paid off about $5,000 from the Tesla, off of the Tesla overall loan. So that is thanks to the fact that we have really good APR. So interest, interest rate. That is all of our debt. It feels really good to get it down on paper, I must admit, but it's kind of just telling. It's like, how did I do this much damage in the past 2 to 3 years? I'm really upset with myself, but I'm allowing myself to feel those emotions. But I also went and wrote down some of the things that I spent money on. And when I look at what I spent money on in the past, which were, things like shopping sprees, college books and college things, I don't have student loans. So I would take out a lot of personal loans, which aren't listed here. I, funded my college tuition by taking out personal loans. And that stuff is so old. It's not even something that I can pull up online. And it's not listed on my credit. So it's kind of hard for me to even remember, but you're talking about another set of thousands of dollars that, we spent so that I could get an education, and I ended up changing careers. So just keep all of that in mind when you're choosing your passion and going to college. Is it really worth all that jazz? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, this time, a lot of the reason I have debt, I did take on some debt. I chose to do this as a way to save a family member who had no income. So I wanted to take care of their finances for a while. And so, I just felt like that was just something I wanted to do personally. And I was willing to take on debt to do that. They were in a really bad situation, and they are someone who just really was there for another really close family member of mine. And I just wanted to do the thing that needed to be done that nobody else really wanted to do. So I did it. I took on debt. But that's not debt that they have to pay me back. I'm going to just take care of it. I did pay off a lot of medical bills. And so that is listed somewhere in here. I don't remember which credit card I used for it, but I did have some things that happened. It's amazing how you move from one state to another state and you start going through all your mail. And they're like, well, I think it happened when we switched to a Hawaii state ID. I noticed that all of a sudden I had these things coming in the mail like, oh, you owe this bill, you owe that bill from when Eva was seen by this specialist. And I'm like, what? So, I paid it. So medical, then I had just shopping sprees where I would just shop and buy things like Micah needed a computer for work. I'm about to need a computer. My MacBook is acting up. It's old. It's about 4 years old, but I'm not paying it any attention. I would love to knock out a couple credit cards before I even go there. But Then we had some, we cash flowed our home, our rental property, and that was a lot of money. And there were some projects that we did end up choosing to finish entirely with the use of a credit card because we just wanted it done. It was the season of COVID. We started working on our home before COVID hit. And so the prices of things, the initial budgets that we thought we were going to be able to stick to, all that flew out the window. And so there were like one or two projects. They probably totaled only about $2,000, but I just wanted them done so that my contractor was good. He got his money. He had all the materials he needed and could, properly staff. He brought in additional staff so that he could complete the projects even quicker. And so it's just all of that, that you don't anticipate. I see you, E. Go ahead. And it's, it is what it is. Then we moved to Hawaii and had to buy furniture. Like we all of a sudden committed to Hawaii, and we did have a sign-on bonus, which did help to cover, first and last month's rent, security deposit, all that stuff you have to pay. But when you are in the middle of paying down your mortgage and you need to buy a car and you need to buy a couch, it's like everything kind of hit all at once. And so I'm just allowing myself to feel the frustration, but I can also see the light at the end of the tunnel. I am very confident that we will be able to, at the very least this year, knock out the $4,000 credit cards. That's my goal. I am really in a season of saving, so I'm going to make sure that I pay a little extra on these every month, but I'm not tripping. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the fact that I know that this is debt that I've acquired in my recent life. Like, so all of my past debt, all of this stuff from the OOs is what I call it, from, in the 2000s. I'm just coming to terms with it. I'm not belittling this debt. I know it's a lot of debt, but I am confident that we will be able to knock it out because of things like, the habits that I've built over these last 2 or 3 years. I have really become a person that saves more than spends. And so I'm going to get this knocked out. I'm going to see this through. I'm going to see it to the end. And I can't wait for you guys to check in with me and keep me accountable because I am going to get this done. So if you add all of that up, it comes to a total of $151,371.19. And if you remove the $50,000 that we've already knocked out for the mortgage, we paid our mortgage off in about 18 months. We've had this mortgage for 14 years, but in the last 18 months or so, we stopped our life and made the minimum payment on all of these debts, and we knocked out our mortgage. That was just a choice we made because we have been inside of this mortgage for 14 years. Our mortgage payment was only about $300 a month. They were charging us that and more each month for interest. And interest and escrow, and it was just all these additional things, and it became an emotional thing where I was tired of it. I just felt like they were making so much money off of us. Our mortgage payment that we made every month, our overall mortgage would only go down by like $60, which was just, and we were paying like $700, over every month over the years. And so that just kind of eats away at you. And so that was an emotional decision. Like, we're going to knock out our mortgage, and that feels so good. And so now we just have to put money to the side for escrow every month. I'll be sharing that in my budget, but this is where my focus will be, and I'll be saving and building our emergency fund back up. So we've talked about the problem. Now let's talk about the solution, because I am a solution-oriented person. So this is my mini 18-month planner. This is just a couple of pages of it that I keep inside of my planner here under the, where do I keep it? Budget tab. So I've just taken out a few pages just so you can kind of see what I'm working with. All of this stuff is available for sale and customization on my website, RochelleAdamson.com. But I have my overall debt tracker so that I'll be able to see my debt go down each month. I want to see that number. I would love to get this under, I have no idea. Like, of course I have a payoff goal of $0, but I would love to see this debt get down to at least 90, maybe 80,000. That would be so clutch. And we already know we have a built-in cheat because we've already paid $50,000 off for the month of January, which is the mortgage. So we already know we're right there at the 100K mark. It's just a matter of really pushing and getting this debt knocked out. I'm thinking another $20,000. If we could knock it out this year, that would be amazing. So I'll track my progress there. And then I have my savings tracker because we are in a season of saving. I did empty all of our savings accounts. I went ahead and paid as many bills as I could. I went ahead and I did keep like a, you always keep like an emergency fund, but I really pulled all of our money to put it all on our mortgage last month. That's why we were able to do that, accomplish, paying off our mortgage. I mean, I think we put like $12,000 to $15,000 on our mortgage in the fourth quarter of 2021 alone. So just to give you an idea how much money we spent. And then I have my Tesla payoff tracker so I can see my month over month progress. I should have included my 2021 progress, but it's okay. But we did start at $60,000. And so I will put that at the top. Start was $60,000. And so we already have gotten it down to $55,461.75. So that's good. And I have my credit card tracker here. So I have my overall debt payoff tracker, which I will probably update quarterly. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but this one I will be updating monthly because I want to be able to see my progress, and I'm going to keep the balance the same, the previous balance the same, because I really want to watch that number go down. I'm using an erasable pen. I will have the link for it in the description. It is amazing. And this concludes my debt confession. I feel better. I got that off my chest. Y'all, if I can just free myself of this foolishness right here, like how I did here, I really wanted to show like my progress because it is daunting. It's a big task. It's a big task, but I really think we can do it. I think we can knock this out with you guys cheering me on and giving me tips and tricks and tuning in every week for the journey. We got this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have debt? If so, how much are you working with? How much have you paid off? What money mistakes have you guys made? I don't like to live in the past, but I like to respect it. And I want to, set up my future self so that they will be set. That's what it's all about. You make mistakes as a young person, but I swear my 30s have been my best season of life. Like I have really been able to see my mistakes and learn from them. And I don't know if I had kept on this old habit here, I don't know if I would have ever paid off the house. I don't know if I would ever even have taken on this new venture of paying off my newer set of debt. And I'm just hoping that this is the last time that I have to do a debt confession. That's my goal. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace, love, and budgets.